Joining us now is ACT Teachers Party List Representative Antonio Tino. Good morning, Kong, and thank you for joining us again.
Hi, good morning, Angela. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so can you please tell us and explain the main objectives of this Legislative Energy Action Development or LEAD Council in addressing the ongoing fuel crisis?
Sorry, council?
I'm sorry, Kong? Yeah. What about,
Sorry,
the objectives of the Legislative Energy Action Development or the so-called super committee in the House, no,
oh,
addressing the ongoing fuel crisis?
yeah, well, of course, the House leadership decided that it must also play a role, even though it's on a break right now and there is no session in Congress. It has decided that it should also play its part in addressing the still ongoing crisis brought about by the U.S. And Israel war against Iran, uh, leading to this unprecedented energy crisis.
Mm-mm.
And so all of these committees have been mobilized
Mhm.
to jointly conduct hearings on numerous issues. Yesterday, it was about the briefings on the energy situation and the prospects in the coming months, as well as the macroeconomic situation, the
Mm-mm.
possible effects, the actual effects on the economy in the coming year. So, effects on inflation, on um, um, the job situation, and so on. And eventually, proposals for legislative action will be discussed as well.
Mhm. Okay, so beyond of course, the immediate relief that our kababayans need, no, as of the moment, ano po yung long-term reforms that are being planned there? Are we also looking at, kasi some people are saying na this crisis really, kumbaga, exposed, no, our vulnerability when it comes to the supplies that we have. So are we also looking at that aspect as well, Kong, no, regarding po dun sa supply ng ating bansa? Are we also looking at other supply chains na magbibigay sa atin ng oil? Your thoughts on that po?
Uh, well, of course,
Mhm.
this crisis, exposed uh, very dramatically our dependence
Mhm.
on oil from the Middle East, going to the Strait of Hormuz.
Mhm.
And so yes, isa yan sa mga pag-uusapan, no?
Mm-mm.
In the short term, paano ma-address ito? So uh, pinag-usapan kahapon, for example, ng Department of Energy, saan ba pwedeng makakuha ng oil in the meantime.
Mm-mm.
Um, pero in the longer term, of course, kailangang mas pag-usapan ang usapin ng self-reliance on
Mm-mm.
energy.
Mm-mm.
And the one possible and desirable response to that would be uh, focusing more on renewables.
Right.
So, uh, bukod sa makakatulong ito sa, of course, sa laban sa global warming, ay renewable energy means relying more on domestic sources of energy. So
Mhm.
that includes, for example,
Mhm.
solar, meron na tayo for a long time, hydro and geothermal,
Mhm.
among others.
Oo.
You know?
Pero may
So
mga
yun yung isa.
oo. Kung may panukala po kasi ano, may mga usap-usapin last few weeks, no, na they're also looking at itong joint oil exploration with China. But personally and in the Congress, was this also discussed?
Hindi masyadong pinag-usapan yan. In
Mm-mm.
fact, I don't think that was raised at all yesterday. Um, Bahagi yun ng pag-develop ng ating domestic sources of energy. So of course, meron ng mga known reserves sa West Philippine Sea, including in Recto Bank. At mahigit isang dekada na stalled ang pag-develop dito dahil nga sa pangimasok ng China sa ating exclusive economic zone. So, ang kailangan talaga ay political will. No? Kailangan itulak ng gobyerno o magbigay ng go-ahead ang gobyerno sa mga private sector players at the moment na supposedly handa nang i-develop ito. Meron ngayong usapin ng joint development with China, binubuksan muli. Talks along that line were started during the Duterte administration, pero in the end, hindi nagbunga dahil ang issue, of course, is yung constitution natin requires that sovereignty or our sovereign rights in the West Philippine Sea, including the energy reserves there, should be recognized. At hindi naman at that point, hindi handang gawin yun ng China. So, in that case, pwede naman ang joint development kung dahil nga hindi wala tayong sapat na kakayahan para gawin yan at the moment, no? So, pwede naman ang joint development with other entities, but under Philippine sovereignty and recognizing Philippines.
Kung may mga ilan lang lawmakers po na nag-suggest din regarding ito, Department of Energy, na bigyan daw sila ng powers to cap premiums pag crisis. And do you support this po? And in principle, how would this work?
You mean capping prices?
Price cap.
Yeah, that's right.
Opo. Yes. Well, tama yun. Dapat ang nangyari nga, napakita ang epekto ng deregulation sa Pilipinas, ng oil or energy deregulation sa Pilipinas. Yesterday at the hearing, I cited some statistics that showed that pinakamataas yung rate ng increase ng gasoline and diesel, among the highest in the world tayo. No, either top 2 or top 3 in the world in terms of rate of increase of prices in the past month. No, at what does this show? Ibig sabihin, hindi pangkaraniwan yung nararanasan ng mga Pilipino dahil napaka extreme ng deregulation na ginawa as a policy, na inadapt as a policy since the 90s, the 1990s. Talagang ibig sabihin, yung gobyerno ng Pilipinas sa ilalim ng ganitong batas, may killing o may pagpabor sa oil corporations at sa pagtiyak na tumutubo sila. Sa halip na ang mga ibang bansa, ang mayorya ng ibang mga bansa, sa daigdig na somehow or other, ang patakaran nila ay protektahan ang kanilang mga consumers from the volatility of oil prices.
That's right.
No, yun ang pinapakita nun. So kaya rin kahapon na-discuss din at kahit si Energy Secretary Garin mismo, kahit siya nagsabi na dapat balikan natin, i-review natin itong oil deregulation law. No? And so, ibig sabihin nito, kailangan mabigyan muli ang gobyerno natin ng full range of tools to address a crisis such as this. And that would include, for example, the power to set price caps on fuel products in times of extreme crisis such as this.
Right.
No, sa ngayon, wala yan, particularly for gasoline and diesel.
That's right.
The Price Act currently allows or actually mandates that when there is a declaration of a state of emergency, automatically dapat actually may price freeze para sa LPG at saka sa kerosene.
Kung
Actually, our law says that even though hindi ito i-implement ng gobyerno ngayon.
Right. Pero kung in the meantime, no, while all of this is being talked about, ano po magagawa natin? Especially ito, we've been talking to several jeepney drivers or those who drive diesel vehicles, and sabi nila 50% of their trips na-cut na daw at they don't know how much longer they can last. And if a price cap happens naman in the future, how long can the price cap be enforced? So, ano po magagawa natin in case diesel remains at the 100 peso level?
Mhm. Well, at some point, kailangan talagang pumasok ang gobyerno in the form of subsidy to the transport sector. So, meron na naman ganyan ngayon. No? Pero kailangan matiyak na magpapatuloy ang serbisyo ng public transport. Otherwise, so in other words, kailangan tiyakin ng gobyerno na may priority para may patuloy na mobility pa rin ang mga pinakamahirap sa ating lipunan. Otherwise, there will be rationing by price. Ibig sabihin yung makaka-afford, patuloy pa silang makakalakbay sa kanilang mga kotse, pero yung mas mahirap, hindi na makakapasok sa trabaho, mahirapang pumasok sa trabaho dahil doon. So, I think pinag-uusapan din naman yan, both in Malacanang and in Congress. No, ano yung mga specific forms that will take, no? Paano pinakamainam na ma-subsidize ang transport sector in a way that continued service will be ensured.
Right? Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras sa ACT Teachers Party List Representative Antonio Tino.
Maraming salamat, magandang umaga.
Thank you.